Miyamoto Musashi is the greatest swordsman to ever live, undefeated in 61 1-to-1 duels. Musashi's total kill count is much higher. He fought in clan wars too. Musashi killed his first men when he was 13. About the same time most modern children receive their first smartphone. Musashi was a ronin. A ronin is a samurai without a master. The ronin weren't celebrated. Ronin were shamed warriors whose masters banished them, or their master died and the samurai, now ronin, refused to follow their master into the afterlife. Musashi was a wandering ronin. He traveled throughout Japan dueling opponents. Musashi's life contained vast amounts of suffering, combat, and struggle. Beyond dueling, Musashi fought in wars between rivaling samurai clans. It's curious why Musashi fought in these wars. His nature is independent. He may not have had a say in the matter. During Musashi's final days he created the DOKKODO, or the Path of Aloneness. The DOKKODO includes 21 precepts for life. A precept is a law, a principle, or a rule. And now, in this video, we will see the 21 principles or Miyamoto Musashi. As usual, if you like the video, I kindly ask to give us a thumb up, and if you think some of your friends might benefit from it, to share it. Thank you very much and let's get started. Principle 1. Accept everything just the way it is. Change is the most powerful force in the world. Change cannot be stopped. Like you'll never be able to stop a river. Water will continue traveling until time falls out of the universe like the earth crumbling, falling, into an infinite expanse below us that is space. But change is beautiful. Change is the true constant in the world. You're changing right now, getting older, not younger. If you're reading the best books or watching videos on personal growth, you're becoming a better person. Becoming a better human. True self-improvement. Walking the path, like the samurai, the path is constant improvement. You can change for the worse too. If you do nothing, you're still changing. If you make the wrong choices, you change for the worst. It's difficult to know if you're making the wrong choice if you haven't stopped, meditated, and took a few moments to determine what constitutes negative change, what actions make you change negatively. The things you do which don't help you walk further down the path. If you aren't continuously improving, you're losing. Look to the future. Pay attention to where the river runs. You can't change the flow of the river. Most people can't tolerate change. They make their lives hard by swimming against the current instead of swimming with the current. If you swim with the current, your life is accelerated as the world and momentum pushes you forward, passing those who continue to fight change, the depressed and the miserable who yearn for the good old days. They don't understand, the good days are in the future. Not in the past. Like Bruce Lee, Musashi was water, whatever he needed to be he was. His ego couldn't pull him around. Musashi's enemies believed they were the best and they all lost. Musashi's enemies were pulled by their egos to believe their lofty positions were permanent. Musashi never stood still like a rock trying to block the flow of water. He knew refusing to change didn't prevent change but instead left him behind while others grew in skill. Principle 2. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. You'll never get enough pleasure. Pleasure is a trap because it feels so good. Usually, pleasure is on command. Discipline is hard. Discipline doesn't feel good in the moment. It's not instant like pleasure. No common man wins a gold medal in the Olympics. It's too hard. It actually requires waking up before noon, working, not playing video games, and a dedication which removes excuses and needs for a break taking. Shouldn't life feel good? It does, and yes, it should. But pleasure isn't the answer to a fulfilled life. Pleasure is an empty life. Pleasurable lives are lives with regrets, and panic before death, because life existed in the moment, instead of in hopes and dreams. Or destiny. The thing about dreams, and one reason why they aren't accomplished, is because people believe their dreams are theirs. They aren't. Our dreams don't belong to us. They belong to the world. Your dreams impact the lives of thousands, maybe millions. Humanity is social, we're better at caring for others than ourselves. If your dog needs to take a pill every day to heal her cancer, you'll waterboard the drugs down her throat until she's back in perfect health. Doctors complain their patients don't take their pills. People kill themselves for their darlings. Try giving the purpose of your dreams to someone else. It may give you the motivation you need to start. Once you start, rely on discipline. Motivation is fleeting and ineffective for the true professional. Instead of pleasure, aim for satisfaction. Satisfaction and pleasure are completely different. Satisfaction starts after a challenge is completed. Pleasure is purchased, satisfaction is earned. Great accomplishment provide great satisfaction. Principle 3. Do not, under any circumstances, depend on a partial feeling. Feelings change like the seasons. You can't depend on your feelings for anything. Control them as much as you can. Your emotions want to protect you, but your brain is better at defending than your emotions. A better shield. Your emotions are like a child. You don't need emotions to be a good person. Your actions, with or without emotions, determine who you are. Not what you say you are, but what you do. Emotions are terrible because emotions are unreliable. Emotions are variables, they change. You can't work today because you're sad. You can't focus because you're angry. You can't pay your bills because you're upset about the football game and need a drink. Discipline is different. Discipline works like this. I'm sad. I will work today because my path is my life, my muse, my lover. I will forget my pain through my self-induced suffering. I'm angry. I work every day on my goals. I will work today. I'm upset my football team lost. I am my own hero. I don't carry the losses of other men to heart or compare myself to their glory. I will work. Discipline is a constant. It never stops, like the earth rotating around the sun. If the earth was emotional, and didn't have the motivation to move, we were all dead. Like our lives without discipline. Principle 4. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. Thinking of yourself is ego. Don't think of you, exist through your profession. Living in the moment, alone, is wrong. Living in the moment is pleasure. Live for the moment, but that moment is tomorrow. Live in the moment to make tomorrow better. Improve by 1% every day. You'll wake up a better man than you were yesterday. And more confident. Competent people are confident. Wanna become competent? Work for a few hours a day on something interesting. The inverse of improving by 1% is degrading by 1%, even more if your habits are bad enough, and in enough quantity. This is your duty as a warrior. Improve by 1% every day. Make a better version of yourself for tomorrow. You exist through your profession is your path. Achievement makes humans happy. People like to grow. To look back at earlier work, reflecting on how terrible you used to be. The world isn't a bad place. The world isn't a depressing place. But your mind is. If you're caught in the chaos, trapped in your thoughts, get out as fast as you can. Your mind is ruthless. Most of the depressed are in their heads. They think about everything. They analyze everything. They plan every social interaction. They don't wake up on time. Get out of your head and into the world. Stop thinking about yourself. Think of the world and the many cogs controlling your behavior, your habits. Principle 5. Be detached from desire your whole life long. Desire is a sensation of wanting something that requires work, without having the will to get it. Desire is the toxic form of ambition. The weak man has desires. He wants all the rewards with none of the work. He doesn't understand, the work is the best part of the process. Celebration means nothing. The opposite of desire is ambition. Feed your ambition. Create more. You already have everything you need. All the answers are inside you. Add value to the world instead of taking and consuming. Be ambitious. Within each of us, even you, is some form of greatness begging to manifest in the world, delivered through your fingertips. The greatness begs to be free. You feel it. The more value you create, the better your rewards. Desire is entitlement. You don't get what you want. You get what you earn for yourself. Things don't make us happy. Accomplishments do. What do you want to be remembered for? Principle 6. Do not regret what you have done. Don't be the person living in the past. This type of person is covered in a thick layer of regret. Or, they live in nostalgia, craving the good old days, when responsibilities were few and beers were many. The nostalgic never leave their hometown, and hang out with the same people they were hanging out in their youth. Some people never let go of the past. The strong suffer. Later, they absorb the lesson, and reflect upon their suffering to become better men. These men never shame themselves. Confident men make mistakes then thank their idols for another chance, tomorrow. The weak regret everything they've done. Their negative self-talk reflects this. Weak people never forget their mistakes. Instead of forgiveness, then, working hard to get what they want, the weak assume they don't deserve what they want. They'll usually give up after one try. Or, after the first minor setback on their path. Confident men understand failure is a utility. Failure is the best way to learn. Failure is motivating. Samurai, after defeat, are hungrier than ever. Confident men treat themselves like someone they're supposed to care about, like a child, or a close friend. Love yourself, but don't spoil yourself. Forgive yourself. Principle 7, never be jealous. After a certain age, you can't compare yourself to others. You're too different, you have too much experience. The landscape is different for everyone once you leave the nest. You compare yourself against your peers in middle school. You should. You aren't a person yet. However, different households produce different kids. Most people still carry the belief they need to compare themselves to their peers as adults. Let go. Think about sports. They are a competition against yourself, not the other team. Games are won during practice. The game is a display of how practiced a team or fighter is. Preparation wins, not playing. Athletes don't need to beat their opponents. They need to beat their fears. Principle 8, never let yourself be saddened by a separation. You don't own anything except yourself. You don't own your wife even if you're married. You don't know anyone either. Except yourself, if you're lucky. The deep, introspective types are rare. Even if you are one, understanding yourself is difficult. If humans operated on logic, they'd be less complex. Emotions complicate our choices. Humans are still emotional, like animals, because a long time ago emotions kept us safe from a world much different than the one we live in now. No one can rely on their emotions. Your wife may leave you because her emotions command her to go. Your boss fires you even though you work harder than him and have been with the company longer. Fine. You don't own your wife. You married her. You don't own your job. You were contracted to another man to help him build his legacy as he walks on your face up the stairs to the penthouse. It doesn't matter what happens. What matters is your response to situations. We all have free will, free to decide our attitudes towards all things. Nothing could be better. Even if you're broke, homeless, or still living with your mom, you decide your attitude towards your circumstances. Those who exude confidence, before challenge, instead of fear, are the few who change the world. The rest of us live under the changes of creators. Own what you can, your perception. Continue walking on the path while the losers on the side cry, hate, and wait to die. Principle 9, resentment and complaint are appropriate for neither oneself or others. Complainers never win. Neither do critics. Or haters. You have two choices against problems: stare and wallow in self-pity, watching others solve their problems, while you cry, hating them for having some type of privilege, resenting their talent, or turn your mind off and solve your problems. Every challenge you face is a dragon sitting inside a castle. Once you kill the dragon, if you kill the dragon, the gold is yours. Most people see the dragon and quit. Be different. Complainers won't reach happiness because happiness is elusive. Complainers want to own happiness, they can't. No one owns happiness. All of us own our contentment. But, we need to want to be content to have it. The content man walks his path, like Musashi, without complaint, ready for all the challenges. The jealous man complains about his peers. The lost man complains about himself. The hopeless man complains about the world. That's all for the first part or this two-part video. Now tell me, which of the 9 principles of Musashi seen so far do you like best? If you like, leave a comment below this video, and be sure not to miss the second part coming out soon on this channel, where we will see the remaining 12 Musashi principles of life. Have a great day.